Hello, everyone. It is me, Susix. Got a little bit of a VTuber model right now because I'm trying new shit. Little bit of an update for a bunch of the video games. We are looking at Sudden Uproar in Print Golden Chapter being released sometime within the next 2 seasons. At most, I'm hoping we're able to get it released at most within fall of 2023. So sometime between September to November. Ideally, we would like to get it out by the release or at least the announcement of the Toho 19. I don't think that's going to be possible, so we're hoping that we are able to get to the as I said, the September through November release date range. We are also looking at a couple new projects going underway, one of which was already in progress before I decided to start working on the series as a new series as a whole, which I will get into in a minute. Cabaret of Eastern Spice is going to be it's going to be kind of play style of Frantically Forbidden Fruit by Gore, except done much better. And other than that, Artefact of Ancient Power is going to be underway as well. And that one's going to be part of a standalone series that I have started working on called the Tenkuu Project. I'm very excited to get this project underway. It is my very first IP that I've ever worked on properly, and I'm just super excited. Just super excited for everything to come down. Just everything's still going to be done on Scratch. It will not be hosted on the Scratch website directly. There will be a web version for a couple projects, but those are mostly going to be demos for the full game. Everything else will be in Windows exe files that will be found on itch.io, GameJolt, etc., sites like that. Anything involving the Tenkuu project, once I start actually making my own assets all the way through and not just boss sprites, coding, and story writing and composition work and everything. So like once I start doing backgrounds on my own and knowing how to code everything, I will start making the Tenkuu project more of a paid thing. I may or may not at some point like remake the first few games and have those paid for too. Maybe not. We don't know. I don't know. Everyone at Roufenwire is very excited for everything that's coming out. I do want to say again that we are hoping for at the latest an autumn release for Sudden Uproar and Print Golden Chapter, which also, by the way, for said game, its full title is Toho Tojuman, literally Beast Spirit Writing, I believe, and then Sudden Uproar and Print Golden Chapter, based on the future update to Brilliant Pagoda or Haze Castle, a Lennon fan game that is one of my not fan game, but a game that's one of my personal favorite games. That's getting a Golden Chapter update that features more characters and everything, just as Sudden Uproar and Print Golden Chapter will feature new bosses and a reworked story, all its own assets. Everything is all done by everyone in the team. It is all original this time, except for the characters, but we don't talk about that. It's going to a lot better. Very much better. Very excited for everything. Very excited for everything. Little bit more on the Tenkuu project. I know this is kind of all over the place. Tenkuu project is going to have 3 different like forms of media that I would love to work on all on my own. There's planned to be a manga to go with the games, as well as a music CD thing, kind of like the Hifu albums, and most of the mangas from the Toho project are kind of like coinciding in the same universe, but they're not actually like the same stories. They're like part of any same storyline mostly, but for mine, they're more, the manga specifically are more going to be geared towards the ideas and projects that things like books like Bohemian Archive and Japanese Red did, where it talks about different characters and like different incidents that happened and just like general information under the guise of a newspaper, which I do have a reporter in the Tenkuu project planned, but you will not figure out who it is yet. It's planned for like 4 games in. The music CDs are going to be, there's going to be 2 versions of the music CDs. There's going to be general ones that have new music, and then there's going to be a specific series that is currently titled Recollective Auxiliary Memory, which basically is a compilation of songs from that are already made from previous games. And there's going to be multiple volumes from each that compile like some songs from each game that appeared before that music CD was released. Between that and the CD that came before it, so like Tenkuu 1 through 3, and then RAM Volume 1 would have everything from the first 3 games, and then after that it would be 4, 5, 6, any spin-offs, and then Volume 2 would just have anything between 4 and 6, kind of like that. That is a plan. It is not concrete. It is not a concrete plan. The games are going to be concrete plan. Artefact of Ancient Power, the first project in the series, is already underway, 90% of the way done. I just got to get all of the stages that I made, which you can find all of them on the Scratch website under Redwire Danmaku. There's going to be a studio at somewhere on my main page that's like AOAP stages, and you would click that and you would find all of the stages that are supposed to appear in the main game. There's no dialogue, so you don't get any story spoilers, but I'm very excited for how this is going to turn out. What else? Cabaret of Eastern Spice was already mentioned. Sudden Up Burn Print Golden Chapter. Oh yes, I should make a couple notes. I should release a couple notes on a couple things that I mentioned were planned. The Danganronpa fan game is going to have to wait. Specifically because it is taking so much time to try to figure out how to do things. And with my current schedule and all of the external issues that have arisen from real life and me, it will have to wait. However, anything bullet hell related will continue. I have not stopped coding those. It's just because the Danganronpa fan game is so much different from what I normally code, so I have to learn a whole bunch of new stuff, but I don't exactly have time for it with my job and looking for places to live and trying to find ways to be a competent adult. So other than that, what else was there? Dreamy Vision of Fantasy, the sadly at the moment canceled scene game that was supposed to star Seiya, that may or may not return. It is not a concrete idea yet, but it is something I'm thinking about. Same with Shmup Capitalist, which if some of you have seen that, I'm so sorry. Some of you who haven't, thank God, because that was bad. But I am thinking of doing something along that line as well. A lot more refurbished and refined and more fleshed out of an idea, but it is not, again, just like with Dreamy Vision of Fantasy, it is not concrete yet. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyone who even actually plays any of the stuff that I put out, thank you so much. I do really appreciate all of that. I love doing this with all of my heart, and I don't want to stop. It's something I want to do as a career. Maybe eventually not just on Scratch, but if I can make money using Scratch that way, I would. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone who actually plays anything. I do have to give a humongous shout out to the rest of the team on Roufenwire. especially SV and Ikara and Torque Booster. Ikara is my artist. They do the sprites for bosses, and they are also working on their own game, which when that releases, I highly recommend that you go play it. SV is one of my top favorite people that I've ever worked with on Scratch. They were so helpful when I met them. They're so helpful now as well. They've made some amazing things, and I'm just so happy that I get to do this stuff with them. Just like with Torque Booster. I wasn't expecting to meet Torque Booster the way I did, and I wasn't expecting to know half the shit I do now without him. Everyone on Team Roufenwire is so crucial to me right now, and I just love being able to do this. And one more person I'd like to shout out before this gets way too sappy. Silver One. He and I met in freshman year, and we've been best friends ever since. And he gets me through all of the tough times that I have to go through 90% of the time. And honestly, I don't even know if I would be here without him. I'm just surprised I've been able to get this far. Just surprised. I'm glad, honestly. If I could change anything, it wouldn't have anything to do with programming, coding, anything I'm doing creatively. I'd rather change that to be my entire life and making money off of that instead of cashiering. Anyway, that got a little bit sappy. I apologize. Again, thank you so much for being able to experience life with me like this. Seeing everything I put out. Everything like that. Again, Danganronpa thing's going to be put on hold for a while just because of external stuff. Dreamy Vision of Fantasy as well as Shmup Capitalist may or may not be plans for the future. Tenkuu project is starting to go underway. Sudden Uproar in print, Golden Chapter is aiming for a release in autumn or summer at the earliest. So anywhere between June through November is where I would like to have everything set up. Other than that, that should be everything. You guys, anyone who even actually sees this, have a wonderful rest of your evenings, or mornings, or days, whatever time of day it is you see this when you see it. Keep a lookout for a lot of the other stuff, and have a wonderful rest of your day.